Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hello.
We're gonna yeah. All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Internet pooped. But yeah, Mo, if there was a gun to your head and you had to pick number one or two, and there was no other way walking it off, which one would you pick?
Uh, I don't know. This is not interesting. I want to hear your thoughts, Grab, on the matter.
All right. Wow.
Uh, yeah, I would agree with Huck though. Like either special option 3 or special option 4, another completely different macro mechanic for each race. But if there was a gun on my head and I would take option 1 or 2, it would actually be 2.
All right, just like Chris said. All right, interesting. We'll never know Mo's opinion. As for myself, it'd be really interesting to have a chrono boost that's increased to 50, and that would be twice efficient. But yeah, let's talk about the Team Liquid. So one of the writers of Team Liquid that's very good at writing wrote a huge post
Mm.
about um, how mechanics allow players to get ahead of each other, and like he's basically every statement that Blizzard makes, he debates them. And Chris, I think you've read this more than I did. What are your thoughts on this entire post that he made?
I think I specifically said in the pre-show that I skimmed over it. I think you said I need you guys to prepare and at
I
least
wasn't
read
gonna
this, and
say nothing, but
yeah, and I literally said, okay, I'm gonna skim through it for you, Desro, and you're like, oh, okay. So I don't know where you're getting that I read this more thoroughly
Do as
than
I
you did.
say, not as I do.
Okay,
what?
well, that doesn't make sense, but we'll just continue. On the assumption that I've like studied this. I mean, I agree with everything that he said. Basically, he took the quotes from Blizzard and then just replied to each one, and it was basically just calling Blizzard out on a lot of things that he didn't agree with. And I in general agree with the guy that wrote this. Um, I don't feel like making the game easier or less mechanically intense is a good thing. The general direction I would want to see the game be taken is the macro mechanics I feel are fine. Having the units being less micro intensive. Like if you think about units nowadays, especially when it comes to Protoss, almost every single Protoss unit has like some special ability or something. You have like the Sentry, which has like 8. You got the High Templar that has a few. You have the Adept that has one. You have Stalkers that have one. You have the Mothership Core that has 3. You have all the like the Phoenix, every unit Protoss has like some weird micro mechanic about it where if in general people's mindsets are that we want to take this to like more brood war-ish direction, whether it's economy or strategy or anything, it's a lot of units in brood war didn't have any special micro mechanics. It was just you had a key set of units that were just strong fighting units, and then you had very select few that had like strong micro ability or spellcasters like Reaver or Defiler or units like that. So I would prefer it be taken to keep the macro mechanics and kind of limit more of the micro mechanics and just have strong units in general. Just strong fighting units. Does that make sense
Yes.
for someone that didn't read the post at all?
What about you, Moral?
Uh, yeah, I think this subject is very interesting. I was a bit sad to see Blizzard posting something like this because so much of it is complete polar opposite of what I think. I think what StarCraft 2 lacks or has lacked ever since the game came out, and I've been talking about this very much, is that the game has always been too light when it comes to mechanics and this. For example, building units, building SCV, supply depots, doing all this tedious stuff that adds as a whole, it's like very fun, very interesting. This is what StarCraft is, but you look at them individually and it's not very interesting. So So I don't agree with the logic of saying, doing this is not fun or whatever, because you can't just look at something individually in StarCraft 2 and say if it's fun or hard or anything. It's like everything added together is what makes StarCraft 2 what it is. So, but the part about it being too little mechanics, I think the problem of that, having too much strategy and so on, because strategy, and if you're negative, you can see it as build orders, or like, let's say you copy Parting's build and you can pretty much, like, let's say there's no mechanics, then you can do it just as well as Parting, and it just lowers the skill cap as a game overall. Whereas if you have a game with very high mechanics, it's gonna lead to very high skill cap, and then suddenly we would start seeing same people winning over and over, and there would be more consistency, and the better player would win more often, and just everything that I would wish StarCraft 2 would everything would be solved by having more mechanics. So I'm very sad to see them thinking about cutting away from the mechanical part. And I don't agree making the game more fun for casuals, because I think casuals have no place in one-on-one in the first place. They don't think it's fun or anything. To enjoy one-on-one, you need to be competitive, and you need to strive for improvement and all that. You shouldn't just jump into one-on-one and just feel like you got this shit. No, you should be like completely clueless and realize yourself that you're not playing well, and so on. And for the casuals, they should be playing team games, and they should be playing arcade, and they should be watching one-on-one for the most part. And then if they're playing one-on-one, they need to realize the shit is really hard. So I think it's really stupid to dumb down one-on-one to appeal to casuals or appeal to viewers or what have you. I think it's really important to keep it in the game, that someone can actually just play standard and out-macro their opponent and just have more stuff, because you want like these different branches that you could be good at, like micro, multitasking, macro, and so on. And then you have this like set of players like Flash or Sue, who are specifically good at macroing and mechanics, even though they play pretty predictably for the most part of it, or at least that's what they're known for, if we can say it like that. You can't quite play completely predictably in StarCraft 2, but that's how they would like to play the game. Like, if you take away that part, you're taking away the persona of players. Like, they can't excel in that part, and then what you're going to end up with is a bunch of champions who are superior strategically and so on. And I think something like StarCraft 2 is really interesting, because you can be good at different things and they can equal out in the end. So someone can be very good at mind games and someone can be good at mechanics, and when they clash, it's really interesting, and it ends up being a pretty even match. But yeah, I can talk about this for like forever. There's so many points to this, but
there's so much
yeah,
passion,
it was a very, very interesting read, because I was close to making a similar post or even a YouTube video about this, and I ended up not doing it, but it was very nice to have this read and have this talk about it, at least, so I could say my thoughts. And I do agree with a lot of things that he wrote in it.
The Church of Moral. It starts today. All right, Zambikra, what about you? What's your take on this?
Yeah, so I think we all don't agree with this, but it's very interesting they changed their philosophy so differently from, 5 years ago now, where I'm pretty sure they put in the macro mechanics because they realized that StarCraft 2 was infinitely easier than Brood War, and that you had the control groups lifted and whatnot. So they said, well, we have to differentiate when there's good players and bad players. So in the macro mechanics. I mean, Adri even said at one point that he thought that Zerg and Jex were going to highlight his macro mechanics like far better, and that's why he chose the race, and he chose the wrong race apparently. But and now they're saying that they don't want it, and I can almost guarantee that's because they got feedback from Koreans and from us too, but mostly the Koreans brought it up. The cast brought it up, and then I know Crank really hit home the point about the micro is too much even for pro gamers in Legacy of the Void, and they heard micro, but because of the Korean accent they heard macro, And they're like, oh shit, we got to reduce the hardness of the macro. Apparently, that's what they were thinking. But I don't know why they actually did this. Legit, it's not what happened. But Jesus, it's the micro and what Huck was talking about, and all the spell abilities are being added in that makes it too difficult, according to some Koreans and some people in the community. And I don't even know why they looked at macro mechanics. The only macro mechanic I would say that had to be looked at, and of course Terran bias and whatever, but would be the mule. Like I feel like the chrono gives you an opportunity to choose where to throw it out after the first pro production whatever, and our larva injects you can choose between larva injecting, transfusing, or creep tumor. That's a cool choice too. But then mules never felt like it was a really choice, like. But again, that might be Terran bias, and it's not even the point of their posts. Their point is it's too difficult. Let's reduce macro. That really should be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have this like pretty good argument is that no legacy the void is gonna be harder because you're adding more complex units and so forth, and that's kind of I'm assuming why they would want to reduce, you know, base mechanics that people wouldn't really take notice into. But I don't quite agree with that logic. I would just prefer the game to simply get harder, so people could do what they're good at and what they think is fun. They should focus on that, and then they could become a great player through that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's an entirely different conversation, though. Like, we got like Maro with like it should be harder, and Huck with like there's too many abilities. So I don't know like how much you want to delve in on that, but I mean, if we did, we could talk about it. But if not, we'll just.
Hey, no, go for it. Go for it. You guys have a really good discussion.
I think that like the thing about what like the community saying what Huck talked about a little bit was not that it makes it too hard. Maybe people will get used to it. It just makes it legitimately is too convoluted. You already have battles in StarCraft 2 being way too fast, and to tell a Protoss player specifically, because Protoss is the one I think is having the most trouble with the disruptor usage, like, hey, you have 5 seconds to get in and get out with this thing, as well as do your force fields and your storms, and make sure your charge doesn't run a Widow Mines and all that, is actually too much. Like it's asking almost the impossible, and that is too many abilities. If the fights lasted for 30 seconds, that's not such a big problem. But the fights last for 5. It's impossible. We never see anyone get good disruptor hits and then pull back, or very rarely, and certainly not worth the cost of a disruptor.
Yeah, it's tricky. Maybe if they go back to something like a Reaver, that'd be so interesting to see.
Right? Yeah. Someone, the post with the video of like,
that
a disruptor in a Reaver, like, and that also really cool. It takes away an ability, but it has the same micro where you still need to be able to pick it up in a warp prism and leave. Like that's still cool. The cool part. I mean, since they reduced the range and the power of the disruptor, it's no longer a cool unit anyways. The one thing you could say when it was first released was it went boom, and it was kind of fun when it went boom.
Yeah.
And now they took away that, so it's not even a fun unit anymore, and it's imbalanced and difficult. So
yeah, it's
the point of it anymore.
Very awkward.
Yeah, if they're thinking about balancing things out on the topic of that, I think like if you can put the different races into different categories, you definitely have Protoss as more micro intensive than the other races, and then something like Zerg would probably be argued as more macro intensive because Zerg doesn't really have that much micro, but they are addressing it somewhat by adding units like Ravager and so forth. But my point is still that even though they're adding more complex units to even out, so every race is hard to micro and they can do different stuff, I think the same kind of mindset could be put into the macro mechanics. So if Protoss is not really that interesting in terms of macro, they could make that more interesting and so forth with the Terran. Like you can't decide between, like right now, obviously you mule drop over supply, drop, but maybe they could balance it out. So instead of supply drop being like something that you do if you suck at the game, you do it, as a strategy. It's like hitting a timing window, because those 100 minerals were like not spent 30 seconds ago building a supply depot. So you would gain by not muling for that certain time, because you could actually get a bigger army by supply dropping for specific timing attacks and so forth. So they could definitely work on the different races to make them equally as strategical as possible in terms of the base macro mechanics. But
but
what
it
they're
feels
doing right
like,
here, I don't agree with it.
But it feels like Terran is like second best in terms of like options, right? Because Protoss is only like a fucking chrono boost, while
Yeah,
you
but
guys
Chrono
have like,
Boost
yeah.
can go into anything though.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your point? Hold on, maybe I
my,
didn't.
my,
Go ahead, Desiree.
my point is that like Zerg has the most options and the most strategical like options, and then Terran is second, and then
Okay.
Protoss is like just
Okay,
we're
I get what you're
boosting
saying.
shit.
I don't.
I think what he's saying though is that you actually have three different, like Zerg has three different spells that in all opportunities are pretty damn useful.
Yes.
Inject is useful, Creep Tumor is obviously useful, and Transfuses, when bulked up, can be very helpful with Hellbat pushes. It's a strategic decision to not use Creep Tumors, instead use Transfuses. With Terran, there's a little bit, there's options at least, but mostly we have to mule because it's part of our economy. And then for Protoss, it is literally the one spell, but it can go in different things. So you know, you could argue if that's, you know, better or different or whatever.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just that
I think you guys are actually forgetting one huge part about these macro decisions. And Protoss has like, when they warp in, it's not, you know, 3 Marauder, 3 Stalkers, 3 Zealots, 1 High Templar every time. No, that's not at all how they warp in. You know, where they warp in, they also have the option of doing that. As Tyrant, you don't have an option when you're building 3 Marauders, 4 Marines, 2 Medevacs each cycle. It's like pre-planned what Terran is doing most of the time. The decisions comes in much later into the game, where you want to build Medevacs or Vikings, or if you want to build Ghosts or focus on Marauders and so forth. So I think that's a huge part of the macro that you guys are not really thinking about. And Sergov obviously has the larva when they're balancing drones and units very much. So I think, like, if Terran is just sitting back macroing, Protoss is sitting back macroing, I think Protoss has, you know, more decision, more, you know, planning that goes into it, what they do with their warp gates compared to what Terran does with their barracks. So overall, I would say Protoss has, you know, a lot of decision making in terms of just macroing.
okay. I think that rounds up the discussion. Unless there's something else you want to touch on, Mauro. You're so inspired today.
No, I don't agree with Zombie Grub's assessment of saying that Zerg has decision making through inject or Creep Tumors. What most Zergs do is that they just build enough queens because they're so cheap to do everything. Like, you need to hit every inject from the start with the game.
Okay.
That's not a decision anymore.
Okay, I agree with that, and I redacted, or whatever you want to call it, in chat. But the Creep Tumor, like, transfuse thing is a lot more interesting and something that, you know, you see pros do and you learn about it than, you know, the scan. Although that can be interesting too. Some Terrans do save scans around a DT timing.
Or when they scan your tech and then you're like, God fucking damn it, why am I playing this game?
Yeah, or that. I mean, it used to be a choice to think, like, we see scans a lot. Now if we see a scan, a scout from a Terran, we're like, oh my god, they did it. They actually, they tried to play it safe. Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, that covers the macro mechanics. Lots of thing we covered. If you guys have any questions, something we didn't cover, ask the question on Reddit. Type !Reddit in chat. Let's move on to the next topic. Queenie leaves my insanity. Now, at face value, this topic is like, what's going on, Destro? Are you that desperate for views or whatever? But no, what I want to discuss is like what it's like being an up-and-comer on a team, like whether it's an academy team, whether it's like a real team. So we're going to talk about our experience, but first we'll talk about Queenie and what happened with her and My Insanity. We might get Penguin to come and call in. Are you available? But let's get into it. So what happened with Queenie is she made posts on her Facebook. Did I link the right post? I think I did, yes. All right. So she made a post on her Facebook saying, I spent a lot of time on My Insanity. I joined a while back to be on their academy team. I feel like I brought a lot of value to the team. I wanted to play in team leagues, but was not considered unless no one was available. Literally, the only time I played was in Shoutcraft, which was a little bit out of my league. I ended up getting covered by national TV and getting a lot of opportunities some of the other players didn't get in terms of exposure, and I was not compensated in terms of travel fees or salary, and it's something I was really looking forward to, but in the end it never happened. She even says that she casted for Esports SM, which is the Swedish championship. And so she's a little bit disappointed of her time in My Insanity. And the post came off with sort of a negative vibe. Obviously, if you don't have a good time, that's not going to be sunshine and rainbows. But then the CEO of My Insanity replied on the Reddit thread saying that Queenie leaving them is sad, but their budget is limited, and they were not aware of like her discontent, and they were not it came at a surprise that she had such a quote negative quote experience with My Insanity. So did you guys read the Facebook post or the CEO post on Reddit? Any of you?
I read some of both.
I skimmed.
So
Thoroughly skimmed.
What were your thoughts?
I'm a
on
big
it?
skimmer. Right? I love skimming.
What were your thoughts on it, Zombie Grub?
Yeah, I don't really understand her tone. It felt like she thought she was gonna get more out of it and then didn't. But I don't know. I've been on a clan once or twice before back in the day, I guess, before I was a totes big time caster, and you never expected anything. Even like if you were signed on as basically a celebrity, shall we say, like even the 200 viewers or whatever, it doesn't matter. You weren't signed on because you're gonna win them games, at least not yet. Maybe you would train and it would be good. Then you weren't going to get free stuff. Maybe a free t-shirt if you asked, which apparently she didn't get, but I don't know, that's like $40. I'm not sure they should be so salty about that. But you wouldn't get like practice partners unless you really begged, and you wouldn't get sent places. That would be all up to you. I just don't know why she expected anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the response from the CEO was actually pretty nice. I mean, he could have been like, "Look, I don't know what you expected. We're going to give you like run a like borderline smear campaign on us or whatever, like."
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't give you. Instead, he was like, next time. I hope we're friends. But bye. Like, that was a pretty good way to do it.
Yes. It's just it's a difficult situation because like they just weren't aware of like her not being so happy about it. Mo, did you read anything?
No.
Okay, so my take on it is I've been in situations like that before where I've been on a team and I've been like wanting more and asking more and hoping for more and working for more. My last team is when I was fed up with this is FXO in 2013 when Art of the Swarm came out. FXO NA, the dream team. Big dreams, big hopes. They mentioned like sending me to an MLG, and then they like along the way they changed their word and they didn't want to do it anymore because they had a budget constraint, which is fine. But like if you don't fight for it and if you don't ask for it and if it's not something like you always like work for, then obviously it's not gonna happen. So like to me it felt like Queenie maybe didn't represent herself well enough within the team. It's also when she mentioned not being given an opportunity to play in Clan Wars. The first time I played in a Clan War was with VT Gaming back in 2011. I played for, Huck, you must remember this, the Gosu Coaching League. It's like one of the first team leagues. And I beat Kawhi Rice on Zelnaga Cavern, and like we lost the Clan War, and it was the only time I played in a team league. But I was so happy because I bugged the fuck out of them. I'm like, guys, I swear to God, if you put me in, I'm gonna win. And eventually, they were desperate enough because we never won in the league that they put me in, and I did win a match. But it's really something that, as an up and coming player, you have to be like your best. You have to be your own salesman, because if you don't sell a dream, like obviously within like the practice games of the team, they'll see your talent at some point, but you still gotta sell yourself to get somewhere at some point. And we're gonna talk about Moro's Huck experience, growing up, baby Moro back in Brood War. Have you had similar experience like that, where you were maybe okay, your fucking drop called, or your call dropped, but Huck, we'll go for you instead. Back
Pretty
in...
sure Moro's still here. I see him blinking
Yeah,
and
Mara's
shit.
still here for me. He's like looking and.
Really? That's
Now
so
he's
weird.
frozen.
Yeah, okay.
Now he looks like Resident Sleeper. right
Oh,
now.
okay, yeah, he does.
Doesn't he? Resident Sleeper Moro.
I see the Skype picture. I don't see the
Put him the
webcam
other
at
way. I don't know.
For me, I
Yeah.
can see him. He's sleeping. Hey,
No,
baby.
he's talking though. Hello?
all. Hi,
Hello?
Moro. Can you turn on your cam?
My Skype is frozen. It's been frozen for like
Oh.
over a minute.
Okay, so
Okay.
all right. Well, I'll go for Chris then. So, Chris, what was it like with your first team? Like, did you
VT?
war VT or Brood War even back when you were like doing
Brood War, I like smurfed for teams for money, which is like kind of a sketchy thing.
Mhm.
Because you would like basically just come on and then like beat people and then just be like part of their roster for like that game or something, or like one clan match. Then I played for like some shitty US East clan called Confederacy, and I was on their like elite squad, which was keeper, and I got like a small salary per month. I think it was like 250 to 300 USD a month or something, just to play and like do so well in things. And then obviously when I got into StarCraft 2, I was like a no-name. I think I first got a beta key, and I was like one of 6 people on the beta key, and I had last priority for this beta key. So I had to join this team, right? And I could only play when the other 5 people didn't want to play. And then on
Damn.
top of that, I would always, like, I would play, make the account diamond, and that was the highest rank at the time. And then they would play, and they would, like, drop it down to, like, fucking silver. And then I would get on the next night, raise it up to diamond at, like, 3 or 4 a.m. when they were asleep. And then we'd go back and forth. And then I eventually joined VT Gaming, and it was, like, a lot of fun. Obviously, I was, like, pretty good, I guess. And I had a good amount of loyalty to the team for a while. Like, I had other offers and stuff, but eventually, I saw the team being taken into a direction I didn't like. There was a guy that was involved in the team that I didn't trust, but
Was
the
that
owner of the
Grant?
team, yes.
Okay.
So basically, the team owner is this guy Frank. He trusted this guy Grant. They have like a lot of fake promises and bullshit. And I trust Frank. I'm still pretty good friends with Frank, but this guy Grant I didn't like, and I thought he was kind of schemy and kind of bullshitty sounding. So I gave them like a time, like I said, if you can't find sponsors within 2 months, you can't offer me salary or send me to events or anything like that, then I'm gonna have to take another offer. And then eventually 2 months came up, they didn't have it, so I left, and that was it. And then I just joined. I've had a pretty good time with teams. Never really been scummed too hard. I was on Millennium for 3 months. They were great to me. I was on Team Liquid for a year. They were great to me. And I've been on EG, and obviously EG's been pretty good as well.
A lot of people don't know, but we met on the VT Ventrilo, right? You remember those stories? You would come back. You were in Korea, and you came on the VT Ventrilo, and you're like, guys, here's all the funny stories that's been happening in Korea. And then you would talk to us.
I don't remember the stories, but
Yeah, let's not repeat them, eh?
I assume that they're not good. So let's keep them in the shadows where they belong.
Right. Moro, can you get your cam working?
I think he's ripped, man.
Is
Yeah,
he?
I guess he's entirely. Well, it's so weird that his camera wouldn't. If he quit Skype, why is his camera so?
Right, I'm gonna like remove him from the group and then drag him back in, and maybe that works.
Okay.
Zombie Grub, someone in chat said you were part of Aldera's team.
No. Oh.
A known racist.
So that was like really terrible. So basically, this guy comes to me because I said that I would, maybe I'd join a clan again because that was a way to like get consistent practice. I would be forced to show up to a clan practice, and then I would learn from other races, and it was fun and an easy way to learn. And then this guy messaged me and he was like, "You want to be on it?" And I was like, "Sure, I just want practice, so fine, whatever." Then he makes a big post because apparently I was totes famous. And he was like, "You joins, oh my God." And then he also puts me with Ruff back when Ruff was in that, like,
Oh god.
had that drama going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just so, like, I didn't want to post about me on Reddit, first of all.
Mhm.
Second of all, I like Ruff. He just said something stupid. I don't care. But it was obviously a bad PR move. So I wrote something in it like that. And then he never provided NA practice partners. He just basically, basically a week after the Ruff thing, I was like, look, we're not even doing anything, so I'm just going to leave that team. Okay, then bye-bye. And then nothing happened.
I see.
So
Did you ever play in a team league or clan war?
I did, actually. So Neeb was actually on our team, StarCraft 2 strategy.
Oh, that's so old.
Yeah, right? He was a Terran back then, too. And he was definitely, he was like the cocky kid that, it was with cocky Terrans and like being all young and stuff. Insider too. But he was like really good and he'd always come on and be like, I can win this. So I think we faced like clan wars and stuff that were like really like, not well known and not streamed even probably. But there was one that was kind of important. It was like the FXO Team League or something. Like it was kind of legit. And we, of course, were losing, so we were like, Neeb, come here and win it for us. And he brought it back 4-5 against the team that he was eventually joining.
What was that team again? FXO, right?
I don't know.
It was FXO.
Was it FXO?
I'm pretty sure it was FXO.
I think so.
Yeah. That's
so he was gonna go to FXO, but he wasn't on it yet. So we were like, hey, Neeb, win some games for us. So technically, our team has like a 5-4 score against like a fairly legit team, NA team. It's because Neeb.
Yeah, screw you guys.
Anyways.
You guys screwed us.
That's great. This is beautiful. You guys reconnecting like this? This is fucking magical. You should
That was
throw
like
up
the
some
funnest time though.
Yeah.
why I love SC2 hashtag at Team Liquid or something.
For like actually like preparing for clan wars and stuff. That was really fun.
For me, it was just like the general come up, because it was like everything was so like unexplored and everything was so new. So it was like that feeling, where now it's like seen it, done like everything. So it's just like, I mean, it's still fun or I wouldn't be doing it. But at the same time, it's not like exciting or adventurous like it used to be back then.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of it in Legacy of the Void, because I know what you mean, but it was also, we were doing this around Heart of the Swarm release, so our snipe build in our clan was one of our Zerg players with 2 base Swarm host Nidus, because that was so legit back in the day. Okay, bye-bye, Maro.
Yeah, Mo is just a lost cause. I'm gonna drag Penguin back in, see what he has to say about Queenie, her adventures.
Hello.
Hey, what up, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. If
You want my camera, or is that going to screw up the
No,
delay?
that's gonna make it a little bit better. But you're gonna be
Okay.
called Mo
Oh.
for the time being.
Oh, the light is like screwing
Jesus.
up. Let me turn off
It's
that
like the-
light and turn on a different light.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah, it's like fucking zombie apocalypse over here or some shit. All right, I think that's... Oh, and that's Stardust. Hi, Stardust.
Oh, nice.
Hello. Okay, its lighting is a little better.
All
How's
right.
it going?
Good. So what's the story with Queenie?
Right, so like this is really like the whole post that she made was so out of left field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so she made a whole bunch of points, right? And our CEO went on Reddit and like made another post that addressed like the only valid point in the whole thing, which was the thing about the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Which for those who missed it, basically Queenie pointed out that apparently she had a giveaway where she had to pay for her own team shirts to give them away. And none of us remember her ever telling us about that. So, like, obviously that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, we would have provided that. But one of two things. Like, either she didn't tell us, or more likely she told somebody once and they forgot about it. That's probably what ended up happening. But nobody remembers hearing about it. So we apologized for that. And the rest of the post is like, so we had a meeting with her in Skype like 2 or 3 months ago. And we was like myself, the other StarCraft manager, Scooter, and Cedric, who's our CEO, and Domi, who's like, he's like also kind of like, he and Cedric work together. So we talked with her, and she was like, yeah, I've talked to a bunch of marketing people, and like they've told me that my brand is worth this much, like it's worth way more than what I'm getting, which is realistically, we weren't paying her anything because we never told her we were going to pay her.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we're not a team that's like stream oriented. We're a stream that's more results oriented.
Yeah.
And so we had a meeting with her, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm like not happy not getting paid or whatever." And we're like, "Well, that sucks, but we understand. Like we understand why you're not happy. We're not going to pay you because it doesn't fit with our budget and our like goals.
Mm-hmm.
But like we have absolutely nothing against you looking for another team or another sponsor. Like that's fine. You're free to stay on the team for as long as you'd like, and we will be supportive when you decide to leave. Like that's fine."
Mm-hmm.
So then she leaves. She doesn't tell us that she's like the date she's leaving, so we can't make a post. And then she just posts this like 3-page long Facebook expose about how horrible a team we are, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know I don't know if that was the goal behind it, or if she just like, or if like her whole like idea of the message was just misconstrued in the way she phrased it. But the way it came across is that she was basically writing about how shit an organization we are, and she wrote fuck you, Stardust.
This guy.
But we have like, so she pointed out, I'm gonna try to pull up her post, because like one of the things that pissed me off the most personally
Mm-hmm.
is like she mentioned Clan Wars and not playing in Clan Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she made a pretty big to-do in this post about like, oh, I'm never given opportunities in Clan Wars or whatever, and that's like pretty bullshit. Like that made me really mad when I read that, because like I'm like really supportive of like using our academy players in Clan Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost every Clan War we have that's not against like Liquid or something, like we will use an academy player as a starter or a second player because I like giving them experience.
Mm-hmm.
And like Smile has 28 Clan War games, Raynor has 25 Clan War games. Like they have a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was Queenie came to the team house for like 2 months or 1 month at the end of 2013. And she also never mentioned that in her post, how we basically financed her whole trip here. Like, she paid for the flight, and we paid for all the accommodation, all the food, all of the living expenses, paid her entrance to a LAN, all this shit. She never mentioned that we did any of that. But, so basically what ended up happening then is I tried, like, when she was here, I tried to push her to play in online cups, and I tried to push her to play in team leagues because I thought it was good experience for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to use her in team leagues like 2 or 3 times. I was like, yo, I want you to start in this team league, or I want you to play against this team. And every time she was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't think I'm ready yet. And then like eventually I convinced her to agree to it. And then 15 minutes before the Clan War, when the lineup's already set, she's like, no, I'm not going to do it. You have to find somebody else. So it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not going to use you if you're going to pull shit like that. Like, that's just kind of how it works. Like,
Yeah.
And then even she referenced the Shoutcraft match she played in, and she's like, yeah, I'm only played in the Shoutcraft match because nobody else was available. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's also kind of true. But at the same time, I asked her, even before nobody else was available, I asked her, like, yo, can you play Legacy? Because I think it would be good, because not many people had been playing Legacy at the time. She was the only person on the team who really was playing Legacy. And I wanted to give her that opportunity.
Upset, man.
Yeah, well, she played pretty well against Supernova, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, again, she was like, no, I don't want to play. It's too late. I don't want to play at this time. And I don't want to stay up for that. And then I had to go back to her 2 days later. I'm like, well, we actually don't have anybody else. You have to play. So then she played. And she, like, bitched about it the whole time. Like, there's never been an opportunity that I gave her to play where she didn't complain about it excessively.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that really made me angry when she talked about how we never use her and give her experience and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like the post on the Reddit thread that's like was made by Schluck, who's our CEO, like it pretty much sums up the feelings of everybody on the team, where it's pretty much we don't know why she decided to depart on such bad terms. We didn't think that we were on bad terms until she made that post. Mm-hmm. We had no idea that she felt the way she did, because a lot of the things she talked about, she never told us. Like, she never complained about a lot of this stuff. Like, she told me every now and then, like, I'm not happy because of this. And it was not, like, every now and then she'd come to me about something and we'd work together to try to resolve it. But none of the stuff she listed here is stuff that we've ever really, that we've ever thought we were on bad terms about. And she's complaining about, like, the way she makes it sound is that she makes it sound like we had her tied down with, like, a salary-less contract or something. Because, like, realistically, she's never been on a contract. She could have left any day of the last 2.5 years. She decided to stay on the team for 2.5 years. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I
So
mean,
that's my
like,
opinion on
I
the whole
mean,
thing, I guess.
when I read this, like, my first thought was like, oh, there's probably been like so much miscommunication because there's no way like a team like My Insanity would have like this much um, confusion like within the team. Like, obviously it's an academy team, so like what you guys can offer is pretty limited. But also, it felt like she didn't sell herself well enough. Like you said, it was like 2 months ago she came to you asking for a salary.
Yeah. Well, like the thing is, she told like she is worth a salary. Like she is definitely worth a
Yes.
salary. But our budget is not stream number based. Like our sponsors don't look for stream numbers; they look for results.
Mm-hmm.
So it's impossible for us to justify in our budget paying her a salary that she would have wanted. So, and we told her that. We've always been open about that. We've never given her any false pretenses of paying her a salary.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because she's a woman? Is that why, Penguin?
Oh yes, of course, absolutely.
I think trolling aside, the biggest factor for me that I would believe Penguin in this is just the way I've always viewed MYI is that it doesn't seem like a for-profit team like some of the other teams would, and it's never been a team that has been like out to make money where they're like constantly like driving their players to stream a lot of hours or they're trying to, you know, get something in return. It's in my eyes always been a team that like is doing this because they have the money and they want to support players and they have sponsors and people behind the team that want to do, have a good organization. Like you said, like it's not about stream numbers for you guys. You guys want results. Those are your objectives. And I've just never heard of any player having a bad experience with MYI or having a negative experience. And that is such a common thing in esports. Even like on EG, even I've heard stories on, the lesser teams that are a lot smaller than EG, which you could consider like MYI or Complexity or I don't know, like we just heard about that other team that closed within this month. So I generally wouldn't believe MYI being dishonest or, like you said, trying to lock Queenie down into a contract. It seems more likely that she was told that she could leave whenever she wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like she's like, we've never had a contract with any of our academy players. Like that's just not something we offer. And I wanna reference I want to answer what some guy said in chat. It's been a while, so I don't know what his name was, but he pointed out Queenie's getting results in all-female tournaments, and yeah, she did really well in one of those all-female tournaments. Like she came third place in the IESF World Championship, but we also have to look at ROI, and the ROI argument is also made for a stream. But keep in mind, our ROI comes from players getting results and the tournaments that they're playing in having high viewership.
Mm-hmm.
And the IESF World Championship women's tournament had fuck all for viewership.
Mm-hmm.
So for our sponsors, that still doesn't really count. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very... yeah, I mean, she has good ROI. I'm not saying she doesn't have good ROI, but she doesn't have good ROI for the goals that our sponsors set for us.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Crap, I had another question. Oh, what if she got so she as soon as she parted with you, she signed up with Green Man Gaming. That wouldn't have been possible if she stayed with you, right? There was you guys would have let her get some sponsors as long as there wasn't any conflicts, right?
Yeah. We've always talked to her about yeah, you can get sponsors as long as they don't conflict. But the fact of the matter is, we have a key selling company sponsoring us at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We have a gear sponsor. And a lot of the companies that sponsor the streams are key selling companies and stuff like that. And I think it's very, very so there are a lot of companies that would have conflicted with our current sponsors.
Okay.
I don't know what the company she partnered with does, but
yeah, Green Man Gaming is similar to that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I think we covered everything. Zombie Grove, do you have a question for Penguin before we let him go?
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Well, thank you, Penguin, for covering everything. Yeah, we love him, My Insanity, and it sucks that it happened this way. The miscommunication sucks, and yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of it probably was miscommunication, I mean, obviously we were not on the same page with knowing how upset she was, so there is very, very clearly some level of miscommunication somewhere along the line. But, yeah. Oh well. Anyway,
All right.
thanks for having me on to hear our piece, I guess.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
have a good rest of the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
Drogo is mad that you're not talking about his Asus ROG run.
Oh, yeah, I guess we will never do that ever again. I'm just kidding. Take care, buddy.
Alright, see you, dude.
Bye. Alright, so we have to somehow figure out how to get more back. He just hasn't replied. I'm like, are you still having issues? And he didn't reply. Maybe if I tweet at him. Let me see. Prop Mo, are you alive or your cat is eating you?
Oh no.
That's so creepy that cats eat the body of their masters when they...
So do dogs.
Really? That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Why is that weird, man?
Because, like, they're like, oh, he stops breeding. I guess I can't stop being nice to him now. And it is just
Well, I mean,
eating you.
once you're dead, you're dead. Right?
Yeah, but still, like, you'd think they'd keep some compassion left, right? They'd have some compassion left. They'll be like, oh, my
No.
master, he fed me for like 10
Okay,
years.
how about this? How about this, man? How about this? No, actually, I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, don't go too far, man. Don't pull the
Yeah.
death row. All right. I think we covered everything from that topic. Zombie Grub to teach StarCraft 2 at NYU. What a title. What a really cool thing. How big is NYU? Like, is it private? Is it public?
What?
NYU
private
is
school.
public.
Okay, I live in Canada, man. Why are you gonna be like that?
It's not a fucking elementary school, man.
No, but there's like
It's not a private Catholic school or something.
no, but
either.
like for like universities, there's like really like fancy ones that are like super hard to get
so
into.
it's
That's what I was
not a
trying to ask.
community. I'm guessing you
Alright.
meant more like community college
Yes,
versus
yes.
four-year college.
Yes.
It's not a community college.
Okay, thank you for helping.
You're welcome. uh, so basically, it's like at NYU. It's actually like a subdivision of some other school's game design program. So I forget what the official freaking title is or whatever, but that's the easiest way to explain it.
I see.
Tisha School of the Arts,
so is it
Department
a
of Game Design.
private
There you
school?
go.
Or is it a public school?
Shut up, Chris.
Like,
Let the
Zombie,
bullying
do you
go.
have to wear a schoolgirl outfit, Catholic schoolgirl outfit? or no?
Jesus.
This is why Desro wants to know. Let's be real,
No,
Desro.
what the
Let's not beat
hell?
around the bush.
That's so
Let's go right for it,
creepy.
man. Just
What
Desro.
the fuck?
What? Come on. I'm just
Oh,
asking
God.
what you're thinking.
Such a bully. This is what happens when you grow up in Florida, guys.
Anywho, so
I went to public school, by the
Yeah.
way. I've seen
so
some
did I.
girls that went to Catholic school, though.
Of course,
Those
you,
outfits.
of course you'd
They
remember
exist.
them. Fuck boy. All right. So, do you think you'll be able to record one of your classes for like people to see?
I don't know. I haven't asked them. They were pretty open to inviting guests on. Like I asked them about inviting like Jack Attack. They're like, I need like a sub for October, so they were like, yeah, ask anyone. And I was like, well, maybe Wax Angel will be available. He'd be an awesome teacher because he lives up in New York. But as far as video, as like, I don't know, probably not streaming it because I don't think they have. I don't know if they have technology. I don't know. But actually, like videotaping it or podcast or something. Didn't plan on it. Might be possible.
I would honestly listen to a podcast.
Oh, okay then. I've gotten a couple people say that, so maybe. Sure.
And so, like, what's gonna be the difference between the way Axlav ran the class and the way you're gonna run it?
So that is probably like the biggest point is that I guess some people did realize that Axel had taught the class last year, and I think before that, I don't know how long he's been doing it. But he focused very much so on learning how to learn. So you do get taught the basics of StarCraft. It's for people that have barely played any RTS. Some might join that are really good at StarCraft, but it's not really. It wasn't really aimed at them. And then the second part after you've learned the basics is basically like in context to learning or in context to real life situations and how to become a better StarCraft 2 player by analyzing your own replays and stuff like that. I appreciate more like the cultural effects of StarCraft and the game design effect in terms of esports. So mine will be more focused on that. So I got to change like the syllabus and change some of the topics and create basically a whole new plan, which is cool. But
Do you have
it's
like,
actually really exciting. So
yeah, it sounds really cool. Do you have to like how do you do this? Like, do you build the groundwork of your class and then like a teacher has to approve it, or because you
I have to send the admins or my higher ups, I guess, the what's this called? What they give you in the first like day of class.
like the
There.
schedule?
The syllabus.
Okay.
Syllabus, there you go. I think in the syllabus it outlines the weeks in my plan, but as far as the actual like class teaching, and I think it's like 3 hours, something like that. That's all up to me. I'm going to take breaks. I'm going to be leaving early, or what actually is going to be taught there. So,
I see. That's really cool. Chris, do you have any questions about this exciting event happening in Zombie Girls Life?
Not really. I mean, it's really interesting.
Yes.
So I'm excited for her, and it's something I knew about when Axelov was doing it. It was even possible that I was gonna go and sit in for him, or at least visit as a guest. So I wish her nothing but good luck, and it's such a cool thing. Like the biggest thing for me looking at it would just be like how many people can say that they've done that, and like how good it would look on like a resume or something, you know? Like I taught classes at NYU. Like even if it's just like a semester or a year or whatever,
That's
it's
pretty
still
badass.
like, yeah, it's still a very cool thing that you can put on your resume, especially if you plan to stay in esports.
Yeah.
so I mean that's mostly why I'm doing it, because I'm actually commuting every Wednesday to New York via the train and
So
cab.
that's like a
rides.
big pain in the ass, but it's gonna be worth it,
It's
right?
a big. It's 4 hour back and forth, so 8 hour total commutes, and then I don't get paid a whole lot or anything like that, and they don't cover my travel fees, so most of my salary is going toward that.
Jesus, you're
But
bleeding
it's
passion.
such a big opportunity to like put on the resume and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I was like, yeah, I think it's worth it, and plus it'd be really fun. I mean, I don't like listen to too many of my casts, but people get really annoyed when I start going like history lessons and why it's important to know things about Brood War. No one ever wants to learn. Well, now you're gonna sign for my class, you're gonna be forced to learn. So suck it.
Are you gonna be ruthless of a teacher?
No.
No. All right. Wait, is it really an 8-hour commute?
Yeah, so the train ride there is about 3 hours. So there and then
Jesus.
back the same day. And then to actually get to NYU, it's in Brooklyn, so I'd have to get to on the train or a cab.
Where are you coming from?
Virginia. I'm basically going to drive down to DC in not rush hour traffic. I specifically asked for hours that would be better for that, and take the train down there.
But like exact address for my friend Desiree.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus. All right.
All right, let's move on.
Yes.
My man.
Jesus.
My man.
All right. This is ROG 2015. The results. All right. So just because T Drogo was sad, let's just talk about Isis ROG quickly. 2 sets of group stage. Any upsets in the first set? No, really, no. Let me see. Oh, Uthermal beating Byung and Patience in the first set of group
Who?
stage. Uthermal?
Who?
Byung?
No.
Bung Bung?
Byung? What is that,
Byung?
like Byung's ugly brother or something?
Boing Boing? I don't know, man. How do you
Boom,
say it? Boom Boom?
Boom boom. Where's the Y coming from, man? Boom boom.
Boom Boom.
Not
Alright.
Byung.
Boom Boom.
Just make a farting noise with your arm, because that's what it is.
Continue.
Alright. So Uthermal doing that. That's pretty great for him. Stardust losing to Snoot MT Drogo. League of Legend, man. Addiction is real.
Yeah.
Second group stage. Let me show it on stream, just because some people might not. Okay, so Lil Bo losing to Fantasy and True. That's not looking good for Gamescom. T Drogo beating Kane. Naniwa losing to Uthermal and Keen. I don't know why I said Kane. I meant Keen. And Marine Lord losing to Apocalypse. Apocalypse was once upon a time a great player, but then he lost to a player named Desro in Challenger of 2014. And after that, we didn't see much of him. And now he's back on top. Using the ID Fox, which is a little bit weird, but regardless, so Petit Drogo went into the playoffs as the only foreigner representing the foreign scene. He had a lot on his shoulders, a lot of hopes and dreams, and he was a French representative. It's his best performance so far ever, beating Apocalypse 2-0 and then beating Hyun 3-0, and then barely losing to Lacira 4-2. Chris, as someone who was there the entire weekend and had to sit down and watch all these beautiful matches.
Had to. Wow, you make it sound like such a negative experience. Had to sit down. Like I didn't fucking want to. I loved Finland.
Maybe they're set up. Maybe they're set up. You couldn't stand up.
No.
So you had to sit down.
No, I could do fucking jumping jacks in front of that crowd. They wouldn't have given a shit. It was great. It was great. What can I say about this? I felt like Drogo played really well. Just to like give like a general perspective, he played like a very reactionary, safe style for most of the tournament. He played like the biggest thing is he literally 3-0'd Hyun, and Hyun's no joke. Like I think that was the biggest testament to his skill level at that tournament. Laziros just seemed like definitely the scarier opponent. I would say like going into the finals, I would have put Laziro at like a 70-30 favorite or something. He really didn't like. He beat Keen 2-0, then he beat Boom Boom 3-1. And just in general, just seemed like really on top of his game. He went 4-0 in the against Marine Lord Bunny and Apocalypse in his group. Like that's very, very impressive. The only thing that like was in his favor was that he was kind of unproven PvZ style. He didn't really play PvZ that much that tournament, but it was really close games, very like chaotic and sloppy. So if you get a chance to watch the VODs or watch the replays, they're pretty good games. Drogo kept making like very small mistakes for the most part, like Ling's getting in, run by, not rebuilding his wall, being very aggressive with his blinks. But overall, he played really well, and I think like probably top 3 Protoss for foreigners at least. I would say right now, just off of that performance. And the biggest thing was Little Bo getting absolutely crushed by True. Like we were talking earlier with Maro about how like certain styles just don't match up well. Like one player's strategic, one's mechanically strong or something like that. Like Little Bo's known for like his +2 blink stalker timing and then just like winning against really good players. True like absolutely crushed him in that tournament. And then I actually think that PT Drogo might have lost because Little Bo kept coming up to him and like trying to tell him like what to do. It might have failed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, Lacira played so poorly versus Classic at IEM Shenzhen like a week or so or 2 ago. So it was very surprising to me that Petit Drogo lost without watching the actual matches, the final. What about you, Zombie Grub? Have you watched any of the games?
You didn't watch it? Really?
No.
Why?
Because I was in Montreal doing stuff.
Doing what, man?
Walking around. I bought a Fitbit, a Surge Fitbit, $300. It has a GPS tracker. It tracks my heart rate. It's really awesome. I bought new clothes. I bought some cables for my compressor.
Oh, so you're like working out and stuff in Montreal?
Well, no, but I walked around a lot.
Okay.
Do you not know what I did?
No, I know what you did. I'm just trying to bait you.
You mother. Alright, what about you, Zombie Grub? Did you watch any of the games?
I did not.
Okay, that's okay.
I just threw my mouse. This is how disgusted I am with you guys.
Wow.
The hell?
Alright. Next up in the list of topics, IEM San Jose to not return with StarCraft 2 for this year's edition in November. I don't know if they said it was going to be at the SAP Center. Maybe it's on the...
It's not?
Maybe it is. Yeah, it's at
No,
SAP
no,
Center.
StarCraft 2 is not going to be there?
No, it's not.
Correct.
What?
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
They're going to do League of Legends and CSGO. It's a little bit weird to have 2 team games at
Dead
one
game?
event. 2 team
Dead
games.
game?
No.
Dead
Listen,
game?
listen. So the thing is, The thing is, they said like they like StarCraft because it's good for the Asian market whenever they go to Asia, and so
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense for them to go towards something that Americans like a lot, which is CS:GO and League of Legends. But it really sucks to lose another event in the NA scene, you know, because you know no more
When's
MLGs, no more
when
IEMs.
when's San Jose supposed to be happening?
It is in
November.
November. So I think also one of the factors is that it's after BlizzCon. So like the value of having a StarCraft event when there's no WCS points is a little bit like boring.
Hmm.
So it's a tough timing for them for sure. But
But I thought they
you went
announced
last.
that they were.
Yeah.
I thought they announced that they're gonna have StarCraft 2 at their events.
They have said there was going to be a StarCraft circuit this year, but they didn't say how many events.
Yeah.
Like they specifically didn't say which event was going to have what. So I think last year we didn't have Gamescom, and this year we have Gamescom, but we don't have San Jose.
That's the case. I think
That
it makes more
sucks.
sense.
Nah, man, I'm all about the U.S. events. I hate that there's
Well,
less and less U.S.
duh.
events.
It's gonna
I
it's
mean-
literally like a week or two after BlizzCon.
Yeah, I think the timing is really poor. So I remember very specifically, like I was like, "Oh, sweet, another NA event," but I already went to X, Y, and Z, and then BlizzCon and San Jose's like 2 weeks after last year, something like that. So
I love San Jose. So anything like Cali area is so nice.
yeah, but I think the players are fatigued by that point, or not the players, the viewers are fatigued by that point. The players, I don't actually know, but I mean, there is no WCS points or rules for next year. There's going to be a new game potentially that's still up in the air too. I wonder if that had anything with their
Oh,
scheduling.
speaking of that, there's something fresh that was posted like an hour ago.
Yeah, confirmed.
yeah, it's-
2015.
Yeah, 2015 for Legacy of the Void, the release date.
Are you fucking kidding me? So what does that mean? What we
Probably
already knew?
post BlizzCon. Well, I mean,
I
it
swear
was
to God,
up in the
if,
air whether it would be
like,
January or not.
I swear to God, if like the leaked GameSpot date of November something is real, and David Kim lied to my face when I asked him at Blizz HQ, I'm gonna be so sad. I'll be
What
like,
else is he gonna do?
I'll be
Just
like,
be like,
my man.
yo, shush, it's a secret.
Yeah, I know, but my man.
You need to get on that emote.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, Chris, what are your thoughts? You seem shocked when we told you.
What? About what? San
that
Jose?
No, that it's gonna be in 2015.
Nothing. Why am I shocked? It's like more like no shit.
What? What? They
What?
said like
That was
March
obvious.
2016. Like was
Well,
the
it had to be
latest-
before WCS Season 1 of next year, right?
Yeah.
So that is a very limited time after BlizzCon, before WCS.
But then again, there's a lot of downtime in between the season, so it's not like delaying
Plus,
it till March.
Isn't WCS start to like? Oh, is it March really?
No. It starts in January, but I think 2013 was March, and 2014 was maybe February or something. Like they have the spare time because they have
Yeah.
a few months of downtime, so it could have been possible.
I remember starting in like February. It
Yeah.
was a very busy month.
Yeah.
But that's still, either November, late November, December, or January. So I mean, 3 months. Huck's like probably 2015.
Mhm.
It was a 50-50 guess.
All right, so guys, if you're like too broke to buy the game, it's time to save your pennies and start loaning the loan, loaning the moan. Mow
What?
the
What
lawn?
the
Loaning-
fuck are you trying to say?
Loaning a loan? What?
Continue for my health. Please
It's
continue.
time to do chores to earn some money. All right.
No. What the fuck were you trying to say, man?
Lawing the moan. No, mowing the lawn.
Mowing the lawn
Oh.
for money?
Yes.
Jesus Christ,
Oh.
man! Oh my god! Oh, I just dropped my phone. That's
I'm sorry. All right.
fucking hilarious. This is why I come on this show. For moments like that, Desron.
Oh, I love you. All right. Legacy of the Void content reveal at TwitchCon. So, I mean, like, at this point, they're gonna probably reveal, I say probably because I have no clue, but reveal Allied Commanders at Gamescom. So, I don't know what else they could announce at TwitchCon about Legacy of the Void. I mean, it could be, like, releasing, like, the 3 first missions, like, or, like, the first 2 mission preview or something. But, fact of the matter is, the fact that they're gonna be able to, or that they're gonna have the opportunity to reveal something at TwitchCon is great. StarCraft 2, if a lot of people are new to the scene, StarCraft 2 was the big thing back on in Twitch in 2010, 11. It was bigger than League. A lot of people that you might not know started with StarCraft. Big streamers like Giant Waffle, which was big in Minecraft, and now a variety streamer, started with StarCraft. It just wasn't for him, so he went into Minecraft, you know. Waral for CSGO was into StarCraft, and now he's the most successful YouTuber for CSGO in terms of educational content, at least. And then Day9 also was someone who started with StarCraft. And,
Really? Him? I can't believe it.
yeah. So, Chris, or actually Zombie Grub, since you're going to TwitchCon, are you looking forward to that?
I have a feeling I know what they're gonna reveal, so
Oh,
no.
no. Not even
No,
like...
I'm a.
yeah.
We're not really. We talked about doing like a panel or something at TwitchCon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was only gonna go for one day actually,
Oh.
because there's so many other events. I didn't think I was gonna be able to afford it. But now I look to these events more to just like hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
So I don't like TwitchCon. Just gonna be fun. The after party ticket. Woo.
That's the dream, right? See how much you can drink. All right. What about you, Chris? Are you going to TwitchCon? Would you have liked to go to TwitchCon?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going on at the same time as DreamHack Stockholm.
What if in an alternate universe nothing was going on and you had the spare money to go?
I would never pay to go to an event, I think.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
Fancy.
Okay,
Whoa.
okay, let me correct that. I don't think I would ever have to pay to go to an event.
But everyone that goes there is like paying for themselves to go.
Yeah, but because like I travel like so much,
Yeah.
if any time I can get a break, I look forward to it
I see.
more than
I get that.
So you like being lazy and staying in bed when you don't have to move.
Wow.
Dude, like I've flown to Europe like 3 times in the last 3 weeks, and I'm
It
flying
must have been a lot
to.
of fun. Did you read any good
You know what,
books?
Huck?
How
I
about
get
you just?
I get you.
Wow, okay.
I wish I
see how
could see
this
your
is.
face in the Skype
I
call.
see how this is.
I
Like,
wish-
you can tease me all you want, but then when I give it back, you're a little salty about it.
My jokes are funny and humorous. You see chat blow up every time I make a joke. When you make a joke, deadpan, man. You're like a comedian up there. If they had fucking vegetables, they'd be throwing them at you right now.
Nice.
'Cause it's
I
just
could make a
not
good
entertaining
salad.
at all.
I could make a good salad. That's great. All right.
All right, let's throw up those
French
ketos
vegetables.
in chat. Keto! Exclamation mark keto. Come on, boys. Let's see them.
God damn it. All right. So let's just move on. By the way, nice new emotes that you got there about Hydra and yourself.
Yeah, man. You see this the Huck P one?
What's that? Oh, yeah, the slasher. It's a great one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it, man.
All right. So anyway, that covers every topic that happened in the last week. That was a great show. Lots of things to talk about. Now we're gonna try to answer the Reddit questions.
Are we?
I'm sure there's something.
Are there Reddit? Link the thread. Oh my god, link me the thread. I'm gonna do the questions.
What?
Link me the fucking thread.
What? No, we can't. We can't do it.
Someone
your way,
post the
man.
link in chat.
It's
did.
been linked. It's been
Yeah,
linked.
It's been linked.
Nice. Here we go. First question. Why no more keto, Desro?
So,
Type exclamation mark keto to find out more.
all right. So what happened is I lost 50 pounds in 2 months back in 2012 on keto. All right, that was the dream. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. But ever since after that, I had like a very unhealthy relationship with keto. Always dreaming of being able to achieve that, and always failing short. And it was a pretty self-destructive path that I had with myself and the diet itself. And now I've been eating a healthy diet. I've been eating healthy and making healthy choices where I eat every type of food. So that's why I'm no longer on keto. And I've lost almost 60 pounds.
Wonderful. All right, next question.
This guy, the savage.
Tell us the story of how Remax came to be. I'm really curious what your defense is against Lycan's statements. And there's a link. Let me know if you want me to send you the link. I'm sure you've seen it though.
All right. So,
Here's the link. I posted in the group chat if you're interested.
Be right back.
Alright. So how Remax came to be is ever since like right before Chanman started Unfiltered, I went up to him and I'm like, man, I know I'm not the greatest, but I would love to fucking do a show. This would be nice. This would be great. Just let me know. And he never did. He picked Destiny, which was obviously the better choice. And I went on Unfiltered a couple times, and it was really nice. And so I always wanted to do a show of mine. And Arstem actually like told me like you should make your own show, but I was like a little bit too lazy. And then I met Lycan, and he's like, you should call. I want to do a show. Would you like to be a co-host? And I'm like, well. And he's like, well, Destiny would be on. And I'm like, oh well, I guess that's not gonna work. And so like I didn't tell him like I wasn't gonna do anything. I didn't tell him anything. I wasn't specific enough because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet. So I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm not interested or whatever. Because it's not gonna work out. And so Feed Me came to me and he's like, let's fucking do this. And I'm like, oh well, if I have someone that can like push along with me to start it, it'll be a lot less scary. You know, we can split up the work.
On a tangent here, Feed Me said that he was defending you on Reddit. Was it actually happening? I didn't see.
He was debating the fact that I backstabbed Lycan. Lycan said I was backstabbing him, and Feed Me said that I wasn't.
Really?
Yes.
Feed Me going huge. Will going big.
Yeah. So you can unban him for that if he asks.
Okay. What's his thing? Feed Me? Just
SC2.
Feed Me SC2? Yeah. All right. Unban.
Okay, so let me continue with the questions here.
No. We're done with that. Moving on. For Desro, do you have anything to say to defend yourself regarding Destiny's implication that you are a figurative snake in the grass?
Well, all right. So everyone makes mistakes, right? And I don't purposely intend to be making mistakes. Like it's not something like I plan ahead of time. Like I'm like, oh, I'll just be friend with this person to fuck him over later, right? It's just I'm a very impulsive person, and I do make mistakes, and some of those mistakes were big enough to be put on the internet for everyone to see. And I addressed it in a Reddit post, but it didn't go so well. People people downvoted and weren't so happy with my answer. I honestly like someone asked me today, like, do you regret making that post? And my answer was no, because at the end of the day, like, that's not who I am. Sure, I've made those mistakes, and I'm pretty bad at like social interaction and a lot of things, but it's not who I am. Like, I think I'm good at the core, and I have good intentions. I'm just really good at making mistakes. Okay.
So you're like a really slutty girl that's with the guy, and you want to be faithful, but you just love the dick. Like, I'm talking like next level dick, and like you cannot live without it. And you're trying really hard because you love this guy, right? And you really do love him, but you just need that in your life 24/7. Is that what it's like?
No.
Are we gonna throw up an exclamation point sexism just to remind everybody? All right, next question. No, we're done. It's okay. You don't have to answer whether you're a slut or not. We got one from Rifkin here. We're gonna say Rifkin / Zombie Grub just to make it more intense, so we can have an argument maybe. First question for Huck. What happened with Asus ROG day one? Not complaining about getting all the stream views, but what happened with the mainstream that sent all the viewers to Base Trade TV? So a little subtle brag there from Rifkin. Zombie, do you have anything to say for yourself?
I know the answer to it.
What's the answer?
You guys weren't even on the main stage, right? Like Hearthstone had the main stage, so you guys had a bunch of like screwed up production and not even like the correct production team.
The stream literally did not work at all to Twitch. Like there was no video feed, no audio feed. So we were casting for the people that were there, but for Twitch it never actually worked. So that's why we had no views. Second question for Morrow. When are you going to grow the glorious locks of hair back? Morrow, actually, there's like this new age right-wing, very conservative / semi-racist group, political party that's getting more and more popularity in Sweden. And because Morrow's basically, he's joined that party and he's, trying to contribute to that movement, it's a requirement that he has his head pretty short and shaved. So he's not planning on growing back his hair anytime soon. And of course, unless they lose that battle.
Can we
And
go
then
back on me wanting the dick 24/7? I didn't like that statement, man.
third question for Desro. What motivated you to write the apology post?
Well, like I said, when someone asked me if I regretted it, the answer is no, because, like, at the end of
You did not regret it.
No, because, like, at the end of the day, I had, like, three options, right? I had ignore it completely and move on, and then, like, that would let down my fans who had, like, questions and were, like, wondering, like, what was really happening. Option number two would be to not be a man about the mistakes I've made and try to argue and debate the facts and the details. But, you know, at the end of the day, I still made those mistakes, and I still needed to apologize for them. But, like, the thing is, like, when you're doing mud wrestling, everyone gets muddy, right? And so, and then option number three was to just be very open and even let myself be vulnerable, even if that meant eating a lot of shit afterwards from the people that didn't want to hear any of it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I just feel like no matter what, once people don't like you, it's hard to turn that tide that has Reddit.
Yes.
So it only happens every once in a while. So, and the last question between all of you, who probably has the best butt? I'm gonna leave this question to you, Zombie Grub.
Me.
Yeah, like who do you think has the best butt theoretically?
Me.
Out of me? Oh, you? Really?
Nah.
Desro. Who would you vote for?
That has the best butt?
Yeah, out of me,
There's
you,
no
Zombie Grub,
you.
and Maro.
Moral.
There's
Why
only
me?
one
Moral.
good answer.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Right.
Let's see here. This is not a good question. Desro, how come you only made an apology thread now and not all the other times? Like that time you blackmailed Maximus Black.
Well, I think it comes from, like, having enough maturity. Like I said in my apology thread, like, you always want to, like, whenever you do something wrong, you kind of don't want to, like, believe it that you're 100% wrong. Like, you want to make concessions, right? You'll be like, I was wrong on this part, but I feel like this part I was wronged and I did nothing wrong, right? And so, like, obviously from all, like, the mistakes I've made before, I still had some, like, feelings of not being, like, not willing to bite the bullet and be completely honest. Like, I've made a lot of mistakes, right? And so, but, like, the thing is, me and Maximus Black are the only people that are on good terms. The rest, not so much. Not so much.
I'm gonna post a question in the Skype group, but I'm not gonna ask it. But I thought it was humorous, so I posted it. A lot of these questions are pretty crappy.
Yes.
From now on.
Yeah,
so.
we didn't get a good week this week.
No.
No.
What are my questions about Protoss and Legacy of the Void? I don't know. Didn't really play too much of it currently, but I think they're at least willing to take chances on balance, so that's good. Another person asked for the conditions at Asus Rock. I thought they were pretty good. I felt like the PCs were pretty good. So yeah, I'm just gonna post a GIF to Twitch chat, and I think we're about to wrap it up. What are your last comments?
Wait. How many hours of credit is NYU's class, and how much per credit hour is it? Basically, how much does it cost to take Zombie Grub's class?
Okay.
It's 2 credits.
Did you
Tell you
just
that
say?
much.
Yeah.
And how much is it to
It's
pay
2
for
credits.
2 credits?
I have no idea how much it is. You're gonna have to ask call the school up and ask.
I see.
So I guess anybody could ask right now if they really wanted to.
Ask the school. Yeah, they even tweeted, like, the actual, like, thing I'm looking for actually tweeted.
Oh, by
I
the
retweeted
way,
it, so.
with GUM selling their equipment to Africa and the casters leaving for OGN Heroes of the Storm, thoughts on GUM possibly shutting down after BlizzCon? You know something and you're keeping your mouth shut.
No, repeat the question. I wasn't paying attention. I'm memeing hard right now.
All right. With GUM selling their equipment to Africa and the casters
Yes.
leaving for OGN Heroes of the Storm, thought on GUM possibly shutting down after BlizzCon?
There have been rumors. I'll say that. For sure, yes or no, I really don't know. But I can say at least that there have been rumors as far as whether it will be GSL's last season or not. But I know nothing for sure.
Okay. So one more question that was pretty good. Hello, Desro, tell us more about the underdog competition you entered with other French Canadians. So there's this tournament that happens once a month that's about $400.
Did you post that question yourself?
No, someone did. Shut up. So there's a tournament that's about $400 prize pool that's French only that happens once a month, organized by O Gaming, called Underdogs. People from Switzerland, Belgium can play, and up until last month they didn't include French Canadians because I think they were afraid of Huck and Scarlett speaking French or something. And so after getting some backing from Lelbo and a few other French players, they finally let Quebec in. And I didn't make it so far. I lost to unknown iMaster Zerg. But there was Psionic in my bracket. He's a pretty good French Protoss. But it's just really cool to be able to participate because Quebec has nothing in terms of tournaments. So I told all my country mates and it motivated them. And we got 5 people to sign up that are GM or have a chance at making it far. And so maybe we'll have more people as time goes on. But it was really cool. Big props to O Gaming for not only keeping the StarCraft 2 scene alive in France, but making it grow despite StarCraft struggling a little bit everywhere else across the world. And I think that wraps it up. I think the biggest tragedy today is Maul never coming back, right?
Womp womp.
All right, Chris is gone. You can see his
No,
eyes.
I'm here. No, I'm here.
Alright.
I'm fucking here, man.
All right, so let's wrap it up. Zombie Grub, what are you going to be up to next? Where can we see you? Are you going to be doing your personal stream anytime soon? And yeah.
We're casting the IAM Gamescom tournament
Nice.
tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. And let's see, Gfinity on Saturday? Dates and times haven't been posted for that though, so I don't know when.
What about your
Sounds
personal
good.
stream? Are you looking forward to never reading Twitch chat and focusing only on the games?
Oh. So Wednesday I'm totally gonna do a study stream
Nice.
and a eating stream. You know those Korean eating streams?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm finally gonna fulfill my dream and do one of those while studying StarCraft. I'm gonna get some Korean food, or just gonna have a good old time.
All
I'm
right.
gonna be really loud and obnoxious, just like the girls too. I watched one and they were like, and I'm like, oh, I guess people really like that.
Yeah, it's a Korean culture thing. They don't mind if you make noise when you eat like that.
Ooh.
What?
It just actually,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I didn't like it.
What about you, Chris? What are you up to next?
Like I said, I'm going to London in 2 days, and then I get back. I'm going to WCS Premiere, and then
Is
I
that
get
gonna
back.
be your first time in London?
Yes, actually.
Are you looking forward to it?
I heard London girls are pretty unattractive, and then I heard the city's not so great either.
Wow.
So
Yo, don't go full I hate Poland type of thing, man.
It's not racist.
Here to hear first, Ezra hates Poland.
Whoa! I was quoting
saying.
someone else.
I'm just saying. So I don't know. It'll be fun. I heard there's good food, which is mostly what I care about in life. So yeah.
Are you excited to eat the legendary what is it? Cheetos? No, Cheeky Nentos? The chicken?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Nando's, fucking
Yeah,
Rotterdam
Nando's.
and all of them always tweeting that shit. It's roasted chicken, like Swiss chalet, but UK version. Are you excited for that, Chris? I'm talking to you,
Yes, I am.
motherfucker. All right. As for myself, tomorrow I'll be doing a play session on skill. So if you want to put up $5 on skill and take my money away by beating me on the ladder, if you're high master, go for it. That's what the session will be. I'll be playing on their platform, on their stream for 2 hours. There'll be more information on my Twitter. I want to thank every one of you for coming on the stream. Even if it was to see the world crashing down and it didn't happen, I'm sorry for that. But thank you for reading my Reddit post if you did. Thank you for watching the stream. Thank you for my guest for coming on. I'll speak for Mo. He's very happy for his potato to grow, and he's working hard on the micro map. And that wraps it up for us this week. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you again for watching SC2Remax episode 49. Have a good week.